MMA Rants and Raves, Overeem versus Ngannou. Let's talk about this fight. This is going to be Ngannou's biggest fight of his career. I mean, this guy has come on in a very explosive fashion. I mean, he entered the UFC and he's basically demolishing people in front of him. And usually when you see this, when you see such momentum, it takes them very, very far. And we've seen this time and time again. Now he's facing Alistair Overeem. Now his last fight he faced Arlovsky, and I'm telling you, I've never seen a guy get hit in the way he hit Arlovsky. I mean, it looked like one of those Popeye punches. I mean, it looked like he lifted him off the ground. You know the way Popeye hits Brutus and he flies up in the air? I mean, it looked like he lifted him off the ground. And not just that, look at the guy's hands. Talk about Popeye. He has massive hands. So when a guy hits as hard as he does and has such big hands, keep in mind, the larger a guy's hands, the more of a chance that punch is going to land. Because it's a larger hand, a larger glove. So even a grazing shot as a heavyweight, think about it, could be a knockout punch. Because these guys hit so hard. So I think that's also what makes his punches so devastating. I mean, you could just see when he's hitting guys, the way they react. He has a really good submission game too. And, you know, I was really curious about this guy. He's kind of low-key. And I'm kind of wondering who this guy is and where he comes from. And I looked at his record. He only has one loss on his record. Some sort of 2-round fight where he was on the wrong side of a decision. I didn't see the fight, but other than that, this guy's never been stopped. Never. And he seems to be getting better every time you see him. I mean, he so easily was willing to fight Verdum after his opponent couldn't fight. He was willing to be a really late replacement. He so easily accepted that fight when I don't know of many heavyweights that would do that. I mean, you know, Verdum is like one of the best in the world, and he's like so confident he was willing to take that fight. Now, I don't know why it didn't happen, but keep in mind, you can't blame Verdum either. I don't know what his decision was, but this is a guy you really have to prepare for. You can't take on a guy like this last minute. That's really dangerous. So this is somebody you have to prepare for. He's obviously a unique talent. We see what he's doing. Something else that's interesting about him is that France, as far as MMA, I don't even think they've had a ranked fighter before Ngannou. I don't think any fighter has been in MMA from France that's even been ranked or had any success as far as a high-level MMA promotion, and this guy is definitely ranked. As far as Overeem is concerned, I think Overeem's strategy has to be like he's going to take this fight as if he's facing Ben Rothwell again. Because that's the way I see it. I don't see how Overeem is just going to go in there and stand and trade with a guy like Ngannou. I think that is a recipe for disaster. I know Overeem is one of the best strikers in the UFC, best in the heavyweight division, but he's taking on a guy that is so powerful. I mean, this guy hits so hard, and obviously he's never been stopped, so that's a testament to his chin as well. And if he goes in there and, I mean, he gets blasted with something, forget it. I don't know how many guys can withstand this guy's power based on what I saw in his last fight and the fights prior to that. All I can tell you is Overeem, his grappling is underrated. He's a pretty good grappler. He has submissions himself. I think a good strategy would be is to test the big man's cardio. This guy's a very big guy, and if he goes into deep waters, you have to basically experiment, and that's how MMA is. It's risky, but it's better to go into an experimental stage than to just go in there and try to strike with this guy, because you know what likely might happen, can happen. But if you push this guy into deep waters, you get him into the 3rd, 4th round, see what happens, right? I don't know what kind of gas tank he has. I really don't know. And that's the thing with heavyweights. They don't tend to have good gas tanks, especially a guy this big. I really don't know what his conditioning is. I mean, he's been demolishing his opponents. So maybe Overeem should try to grapple with him. You know, try to put a body on him, try to wear him out. I don't know, I'd rather grapple than stand on the outside with this guy because, you know, like I said, I mean, look at the fight against Ben Rothwell. Ben Rothwell's not that fast, he's not that technical, right? But he has a chin like granite. I mean, he gobbles up punches like, you know, like it's lunchtime. I mean, like he eats it like a sandwich, and it seems like that it makes him stronger. I mean, it's like the Hulk. You know, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. So how do you fight a guy like that? Well, what are you supposed to do? And as you saw, eventually, you know, Overeem was hitting him with everything but the kitchen sink, but then he is going to counter. And when Ben Rothwell counters, he will collapse your face. And I'm thinking this might be the same situation. Now, I don't know if Ngannou has a chin like Ben Rothwell. I don't know anybody that does. But one thing I can say is that why risk it? Don't stand and trade with this guy, because when that punch lands, I think he can knock most heavyweights out with his strikes. You know what? I just have a feeling, I think this is Ngannou's time. I mean, this guy has looked so impressive. The way he's fighting, you see, it's not who he's fought, it's how he's fought them, and it's how he's won. When you see a guy that's demolishing opponents in front of him, even if they are journeymen or guys that are on a decline, when you see a guy demolishing his opponents, also with ease, then you know that guy is on a very high level. I think this is Ngannou's time. I'm going to go to prediction here. I have Ngannou to win this fight. I would like to know what you think about the fight. Please leave your comments, please subscribe, please like up this video, and thank you for tuning in.